Today as we check in with your future track radar. Still quite a bit of some cloud cover lingering through, but we are in a bit of a dry patch here in the Rochester area. You can see that cloud cover kind of clearing just to the east. So we are expecting to see some clearing in the next few hours. There are still some showers building in from the west. I think most of that may miss us, possibly clipping portions of northern Olmsted County, Goodhue County, northern Dodge and Steele County there. But I think a lot of us may be tapering off with that rain activity here at this hour. So as we look forward, then we are continuing to watch some cold fronts moving through. We do have that frontal boundary just to our south, so it is a bit more humid still for folks in, say, Winneshiek and Alameda counties, Houston County as well. And that's kind of keeping some of that stronger thunderstorms to our southeast. We are, though, going to be watching another frontal boundary to our north. This will sink south here as we move into tomorrow and into the weekend. So temperatures trending a lot cooler as we look forward into this weekend. Let's take a look here at the rest of tonight. You can see behind me here we have those clearing skies, as you just saw on radar there, looking at still some cloud cover, but ultimately looking at some gradual clearing. So I think we'll kind of be bouncing in and out of that cloud cover for the rest of this evening. So if you are looking to head downtown, if you're looking to get out and about here this evening, I think we can still salvage a little bit of your Thursday. Temperatures have been much cooler today given that cloud cover and that rain activity. So staying with that cooler trend for the rest of tonight. However, we continue to track the next big thing, and that is going to be turning away from that rain threat now to some beautiful weather here to round out the weekend, or round out the work week, I should say. A sneak peek here into your Friday forecast. We'll be tracking those high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. Widespread sun. Much needed and I'm sure much appreciated break from the humidity, but gearing up for some really beautiful weather heading into this weekend. So we will continue to track out all those forecast details and take a look ahead at what's in store in the coming days in your First Alert forecast. We'll be have those details coming up later on in the show, and we'll be right back with more Midwest Access. Comfortable there. We'll also be then looking at dew points back into the 40s, and that's going to be after that cold front moves through between Friday night and early Saturday. So that will be something many of us looking ahead to and looking forward to, is the lack of that humidity. Heading into tomorrow, we enjoy a pretty nice summer-like day. Temperatures pretty seasonal tomorrow, expecting to see highs into the upper 70s, low 80s. So if you're looking to get out and about here for your Friday, a good opportunity to do so. Tomorrow, tracking high temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, and beautiful, beautiful sunshine. So like I said, a perfect opportunity to get outside. Let's take a look at that 10-day forecast. Temperatures fluctuating a little bit here. Temps kind of dropping a bit, upper 60s, low 70s possible here in the area by Sunday. Pretty dry forecast in the next few days. We may watch for a couple straight showers and storms come Saturday, but I think pretty minimal at this point in time. We'll need a couple more looks at that of model trends here in the next day or two to see if that holds consistent. Maybe another opportunity for some rain later next week, Wednesday and Thursday, but temperature staying seasonal, if not slightly below, in those low to mid 70s. That's a look at your First Alert weather.
Year this weekend that we will remember those tragic events. Sarah's here now with a final check at your forecast.
Yeah, things looking a lot different, a lot cooler, more comfortable here in the next few days. That humidity the last few days has just been absolutely terrible. Sneak peek at those dew points here for the coming days. 50s tomorrow, 40s heading into this weekend. Sneak peek at your Friday forecast as we look ahead to some sunshine returning and some pretty seasonal temperatures, upper 70s to low 80s and widespread sunshine. A beautiful day to get outside here for your Friday as we take a look at that 10-day forecast, tracking a beautiful weekend as well, and temperatures staying actually seasonably cool for the weekend into early next week. We'll also be watching for some rain chances later next week. So we'll take another look at all of those forecast details as we track out your Thursday evening and your First Alert weather when we see you at the top of the hour. We've been tracking some rain showers in and out of the area throughout much of our Thursday, so kind of a wet day for many of us. However, at this hour, things drying out, even seeing some clearing through the Med-City and parts of southeast Minnesota, northeast Iowa. So we still have a chance at maybe a couple stray showers to pop up here in the next couple of hours, but predominantly looking to be on the drying trend. So if you're looking to get out and about here this evening, an opportunity to kind of salvage what has been a pretty wet day. But I do think through about 8 o'clock this evening, maybe a chance at a couple stray spotty showers. Very, very sparse in manner. So not a washout at all, but an opportunity to kind of sneak outside. So if you are looking to get out here this evening, I do think most of us have that opportunity and we should stay dry. But if you are looking to head downtown, maybe bring that umbrella just in case if there are a couple sprinkles that do pop up. But I think we're kind of on the drying trend here the rest of tonight, and that weekend forecast, even tomorrow, looking beautiful. Can't wait to show you.
Some wind too earlier today. A lot
breezy.
of branches down around my neck of the woods. Some power outages too. So that was a little bit surprising, but it is that time of year.
Sure is.
Thanks, Sarah. We'll see you again soon.
Thursday started off as a rather wet day, but we are able to salvage the evening here. So if you're looking to head downtown for Thursday's downtown this evening, grab the umbrella just in case there's a couple lingering showers, a couple lingering sprinkles, but I do think we should be continuing with that drying trend. Temperatures on the cooler side as well, so grab an extra layer before you head out the door. Gearing up for a little more warmth and a lot more sunshine as we sneak into your Friday forecast. Those latest First Alert weather details are next.
Your First Alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
We certainly saw some wet conditions out there to kick off our Thursday, and the good news is things starting to dry out about now a bit more now here this evening. Looking at radar estimated rainfall amounts, areas especially along I-90 here and south through southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, picking up some decent rainfall. A lot of spots seeing some totals upwards of half an inch or an inch in some locations. So some good rainfall here. Things drying out now at this hour, but we may still see a couple sprinkles, a couple spotty showers popping up between now and say about 7-8 o'clock here tonight. So if you are heading downtown or have some outdoor things you're trying to take care of here this evening, we can still salvage the evening. Just keep that umbrella close by just in case. Some clearing sky happening at this hour. As I mentioned, we're going to be watching a cold front here. It's draped to our north. It'll kind of stall out, staying to our north through tomorrow. But as we move into Saturday, it will drop south, kind of kick up maybe a couple stray showers for Saturday, and then past that, looking at some cooler conditions. So as I mentioned, if you're heading out about here this evening, keeping an eye on a couple stray rain showers through about 7-8 o'clock tonight, but I think most of us should be drying out, and we'll be looking at some quieter weather here through this evening. Looking ahead to the next big thing, a beautiful end to the work week. It's been so hot, so humid here so far the last few days. Heading into this weekend and especially next week, once we get that cold front through, we'll be looking at dew points a lot more comfortable. So a drier air mass in place, so looking at dew points in the 40s and 50s here in the coming days. Tomorrow, a beautiful day, plenty of widespread sun. We'll see high temperatures into the upper 70s, low 80s, so great opportunity to get outside and kind of wind down from what has been a bit more of an active and hot week for the region. 10-day forecast continuing on with those beautiful conditions through this weekend. Temperatures a little cooler than average, though, as we move into Sunday, extending into early next week there with upper 60s and low 70s on the horizon. While we may have to dodge a few stray rain showers on Saturday, maybe later next week, Wednesday, Thursday, an opportunity to keep an eye on some much needed rainfall.
All right, Sarah, thank you. We're going to check in now with Olivia Prodzinski with a preview of a story you'll see new tonight at 6. Olivia?
Let's take a look at one more look at your forecast here. Allergy report on this Thursday. We have trees and grasses sitting at a moderate level of ragweed, mold, and dust sitting at low levels here for today. Let's take a look at that 10-day forecast. Things looking a lot quieter as we move into the late week, weekend, early next week. Temperatures, though, you'll notice a lot cooler, some upper 60s, some low 70s here by Sunday, low 70s extending into early next week. We may have to dodge a couple stray showers and storms come Saturday, but I think the better opportunity holding off till maybe mid next week.
Hey, do you want to give the viewers a taste of your dance moves you were jiving to when Peter was live in LA for the World Cup? Yeah.
It was good music.
You were there. Olivia was there. It was like a dance party in the studio. We have fun. We hope you had fun too. We turn to meteorologist Sarah Gannon on our weather patio this evening. A lot of people already eyeing up that weekend, Sarah.
Hey guys, things a lot quieter here in the weather department on this Thursday. We did have some wet weather throughout a good chunk here of the first part of today. Things looking a lot quieter for this evening. We may still have to dodge a few showers, especially if you are, say, along and east of Highway 52. Winds, as you can tell on the patio, are a little blustery, but for the most part, we should be looking at a pretty quiet rest of our evening. But if you are heading out and about, especially east of Highway 52, keep the umbrella handy just in case. I do expect us to continue to see some clearing sky as we continue into the rest of this evening. Tomorrow looking to be absolutely beautiful, where we track high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, so a very seasonal day and a break from the rain, transitioning to more sunshine across the region. The weekend forecast looking absolutely beautiful, but temps will cool a bit more below average. So we'll talk more about those First Alert forecast details coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Sarah. We'll check back in soon.
We managed to clear out those rainy conditions here for this evening. Still tracking a couple spotty showers out there. So if you are heading out and about east of Highway 52, keep the umbrella handy just in case. But for the most part, we really will begin to dry out here the rest of this evening. Kind of a cooler, quieter evening as the cloud cover leaves the region. Gearing up for some beautiful weather Friday and this weekend. More details are ahead in your first alert forecast.
Your first alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
We certainly saw a little bit of some good rain in the area between last night and this morning. Enjoying that rain while we can. Many of us picking up anywhere from a couple tenths on the low side, upwards of an inch in some locations. So some beneficial rainfall for the area, especially along and south of I-90. So most rain activity has cleared out for this evening. We do have a couple redeveloping cells east of Highway 52. So through Winona County, portions of Fillmore heading towards Houston County and into Wenatchee County at this hour. We're seeing just some rain showers. No severe weather is expected. A quick little couple sprinkles are possible. Past that, we'll clear out the cloud cover and look forward to some drying conditions here for the rest of tonight. We're sandwiched between two cold fronts. So the main one off to our east now, that's brought initially some cooler air, losing some of that humidity that we had yesterday. Big focus, though, is going to be the cold front to our north. This will kind of stall out to our north and stay in place there through tomorrow. By Saturday, we'll see it dropping south, and that will continue to cool things heading into this weekend and early next week, maybe spark a couple stray showers by Saturday. In terms of the rest of this evening, things continuing to dry out, clear out as well, a little cooler for temperatures if you're heading out and about, especially if you're east of Highway 52, grab that umbrella just in case if you're heading out. However, though, focusing on the next big thing, and that's going to be those cooler conditions that are on the way. As I mentioned, with that passing of that cold front that's on the way for Saturday, we'll be watching dew points going from the 50s back to the 40s by Sunday into early next week. So we've already started to feel that lack of humidity, and it stays with us for the next few days. So some excellent news, especially if you're wanting to spend some time outside. The forecast tomorrow, your Friday, looking absolutely beautiful. Widespread sunshine, high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. So let's take a look at that 10-day forecast. How are things trending into this weekend? Beautiful, I can say. We're looking at upper 60s to low to mid 70s here between Saturday and Sunday. Low 70s continuing into early next week. We may have to dodge a couple stray rain showers on Saturday. Better focus, though, better chance for maybe a little more moisture in the area come middle of next week, Wednesday and Thursday. So gorgeous conditions here tomorrow and into this weekend.
Glad those temperatures have definitely come down.
Absolutely, and we got that rain, like you said.
Yes, yes.
All right, thanks, Sarah. Sports is next.
And the good news is the weather should cooperate for tomorrow. Hey, before we kind of wrap things up here tonight, look at your Garden Gallery winner, Jim from Rochester, with some beautiful peonies. Congratulations, Jim. You can head on over to Custom Retaining Walls and Landscaping and pick up your $10 gift card. We'll have another Garden Gallery winner tomorrow at the same time. You can send those submissions into garden@kttc.com. Make sure to include your name and where the photo was taken. We'll take a look here at that 10-day forecast, looking at some beautiful weather the next few days. Tomorrow, probably the most seasonal day that we've had in quite a while. Upper 70s to low 80s and widespread sunshine. We'll see another cold front move through the area through Saturday, so temps will be a little bit cooler this weekend into early next week. Upper 60s to mid 70s on the warm side, but a nice dry stretch. Maybe dodge a couple stray showers there Saturday, but otherwise next few days looking a lot more comfortable, way less humidity.
Now we can dry out for a couple of days.
Yeah, lawns are going to start to grow again, so we'll have to get ready for some lawn mowing.
That's on my list this weekend.
Yeah, it seems like it always is on mine as well. And you're starting to learn to mow lawn too.
Oh, my husband takes care of that one. Thanks for joining us tonight at 6.
Appreciate your time, everyone. More news, weather, and sports at 10.
And now that we are saying goodbye to the rain, welcoming in some much cooler and much drier air, saying goodbye to the humidity. Those latest forecast details for the weekend are ahead.
Heading outdoors, our meteorologist Sarah Gannon joins us live from the weather patio. Sarah, what are you tracking for our Friday?
Well, hey there, Olivia. Looking ahead to some really beautiful conditions. A big night and day difference humidity-wise today versus yesterday. And dew points will just continue to fall as we head into tomorrow and this weekend. Sky conditions a lot more clear and a lot quieter here to this evening versus what we saw earlier today. We did see some rain activity in the area, some good rainfall for many of us. Things much quieter here tonight and into the coming days. A little breezy as well. Those winds continuing to die down here at the 9 o'clock hour. We're still seeing some gusts, though, nearing about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Looking forward to tomorrow, planning ahead for some beautiful sunshine temperatures, looking to be as near seasonal, as close to seasonal as we've been here in the last several weeks. Upper 70s to low 80s on the way for those afternoon highs, and plenty of sun, low humidity. It really will be a beautiful start to the weekend, and that will continue into Saturday and Sunday. So more on those first alert forecast details are ahead. And we are saying goodbye to the rain and the humidity, gearing up for more sunshine and some very comfortable conditions as we transition into the late week and the weekend. Sneak peek at your Friday forecast, widespread sunshine. High temperatures very seasonal in the upper 70s to low 80s. More on those first alert forecast details as we look ahead to the weekend is next. We picked up some good rainfall overnight and early this morning. A lot of spots, especially south of I-90, even north into Goodhue, Rice, and Le Sueur counties. Many locations seeing at least a tenth or two of an inch of rainfall. Other spots you can see highlighted in the greens and the yellows here, upwards of a half an inch to an inch of rainfall. Looking outside, no rain on the way. We are drying out now for the rest of tonight. Conditions will continue to remain fairly quiet. And actually, we're kind of sandwiched between two cold fronts. The first one now to our east and to our south. That kind of brought that initial cooling and pushed out that rain from today. As we look to our north, we're watching this frontal boundary. It'll stall out a bit and hang out in north of our area through tomorrow, and by Saturday we'll see this dropping south. So once we see that cold front drop south, we track our next big thing, and that's going to be some much cooler, drier air for the region. We already are starting to notice that, but even a little more heading into this weekend, where we will watch dew points into the 50s and ultimately the 40s by the weekend into early next week. Temperatures also taking a bit of a dip. Some highs in the upper 60s by Sunday, maybe some low 70s as well, but a cooler weekend on tap. It's been a while since we've seen temperatures below average. Tomorrow, though, a fairly seasonal day, and it's been a while since we've had a day like tomorrow. We're tracking high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, mostly sunny skies. We might see a couple fair weather clouds out and about, but for the most part, it's a pretty quiet start to the weekend. And that weekend forecast shaping up to be pretty fantastic. Low 70s on the way for the Mankato area. We may see a couple rain chances by Wednesday into Thursday, but predominantly a dry stretch of weather here this weekend into early next week. We'll take a look at that 10-day forecast for the Rochester area as we look at temperatures into the upper 60s to low 70s here this weekend and early next week. Then keeping an eye on opportunity for some rain middle of next week, Wednesday, Thursday. There. So overall, a bit of a change temperature-wise.
A much-needed break on those temperatures, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
The weather really starting to cooperate and become a lot more comfortable, enjoyable even to get outside here as we approach the weekend. Your Friday forecast looking pretty fantastic. High temperatures, fairly seasonal into the upper 70s to low 80s. A lot of sun on the way too. Things cooling down slightly by this weekend though. We'll talk more about those first alert forecast details next. And we are saying goodbye to the rain and the humidity. Things looking a lot more comfortable here in the next few days. Your first alert forecast is next.
Meteorologist Sarah Gannon joins us live from the weather patio. Sarah, what are you tracking for the rest of this evening?
Well, hey there, Olivia. Pretty quiet night in store for us here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. We saw that rain earlier today, now well out of our area. Things looking dry here for the rest of tonight. So we'll take a look at satellite and radar where we're looking at those clear sky overhead. Not really even any clouds in the area as well. So things looking very quiet tonight. Temperature-wise, cooler, almost maybe needing that extra layer out here on the weather patio. Current temperatures sitting into those lower to mid 60s here at this point in time. We'll also take a look at our current wind speeds. It was a bit breezy earlier this afternoon. Winds continuing to die down, but still seeing some gusts upwards of about 15-20 miles per hour. So it's still just a tad breezy in a couple locations, but for the most part, things looking fairly pleasant here for tonight. Tomorrow, a beautiful day in store. We're looking at high temperatures into the upper 70s to low 80s, widespread sunshine, and then that gorgeous weather just continuing into the weekend. Maybe a touch cooler as we'll see another cold front moving through the region. We'll talk more about that weekend forecast in your first alert weather coming up. The weather much quieter here this evening compared to what we've been seeing the last few days, and a break from the heat and humidity on the way. Let's take a look at today's allergy report. Trees and grass at moderate levels, ragweed, mold, and dust sitting at low levels. Looking ahead to tomorrow, tracking some beautiful sunshine, fairly seasonal temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s. And the big talking point near the next few days is going to be the lack of humidity. More on your first alert forecast is ahead. A much quieter day, or much quieter second half of the day, I should say. We saw some rainfall in the area earlier this morning and into the early afternoon before things began to dry out. Not seeing any rainfall in the local area at this point in time. We are, though, keeping an eye on a cold front to our north. This will stay stalled to the north of our region here tonight into tomorrow, and then gradually drop south heading into Saturday, and that may spark a couple stray showers, but the biggest thing that it'll bring is some more comfortable air and lower humidity. So as we track the next big thing, looking forward to a break in those temperatures and a lot cooler air. We've already started to notice the more comfortability out there with those lower dew points today, but they'll drop even more in the next few days. We're expecting to see dew points here heading into tomorrow, this weekend, with dew points sitting mainly into those 40s and 50s, so really not much of humidity. It'll be very pleasant across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll track plenty of sunshine across the area. Looking at some temperatures for Rochester, highs tomorrow into those upper 70s. Elsewhere across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa, tracking high temperatures into those lower 80s. So a beautiful day here all across the region. We could be looking at some highs maybe a bit higher than those lower 80s towards Blue Earth, Fairmont, St. James, New Ulm, and Algona. Areas east of the I-35 region, looking to see temps staying in the upper 70s to low 80s. Let's talk about that 7-day forecast for Mankato, because the weekend looking fabulous here. Highs into those lower 70s, and we'll continue on with more sunshine into early next week. Maybe a rain chance possible by Wednesday, but for the most part, it's a pretty quiet stretch of weather on the way. Here's a look at that 10-day forecast for Rochester. Heading into this weekend, we'll be gearing up for temperatures in the upper 60s to low to mid 70s. Much cooler than average. We typically should be in those upper 70s at this point in time. So tomorrow will be fairly seasonal for us, but things dropping below average. Quite a change from what we've seen in the last several weeks where we've been well into the 80s. So low 70s will be a nice little change of pace.
69 degrees on Sunday. That's still a warm temperature, but after these really hot temperatures, it's going to feel chilly.
Yeah, time to open up the windows and just kind of refresh the house, give the AC a well-deserved break.
Certainly. Thanks, Sarah. Sports is next.
Let's take one more look at that 10-day forecast here. Beautiful weather in the coming days, kicking off the start of the weekend tomorrow or end of the work week, depending on what your week is looking like. Beautiful weather for Friday as we track high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s, looking at some upper 60s to mid 70s in the area this weekend and some nice sunshine. We will also be looking at maybe a couple stray showers there for Saturday, but I think better chance for rain holds off until Wednesday, Thursday of next week. But below average temperatures throughout much of next week. We may see temps continuing to stay in the 70s through the upcoming weekend. So looking at a bit more of a cool down in the coming days compared to what we've been seeing so far this summer season, with temps well into the 80s. We didn't think we'd get a break, but I think now's that opportunity to enjoy some of those cooler, low humidity conditions.
It'll be nice to dry out for a few days too.
Yes.
Although that rain was very much appreciated.
This work.
Conditions today a little gray and rainy to kick off the day, but turning around pretty nicely here for this evening, managing some sunshine and some dry conditions. Temperatures, though, I'm sure many of you noticed a big difference. It was a lot cooler today and a little less humidity as well. High temperatures in the area topping off into those lower mid 70s at best. So temperatures today actually about 5 to 10 degrees below normal. So cooler than average today, and those below average temperature trends looking to continue for a little while longer. We are done with the rain at this point in time, so looking at some dry, clear sky overhead. Keeping an eye, though, on a frontal boundary, cold front to our north. This will gradually sink south over the weekend, and that will may spark a couple stray showers on Saturday, but for the most part, looking ahead to even more below average temperatures this weekend. Tomorrow, though, will be probably our most seasonal day that we've seen here in the last month or so. Temperatures topping off in the upper 70s to low 80s and widespread sun. So not only a great way to end the work week, but kick off the weekend, and just more beautiful weather continuing in the next several days.
Almost perfect to be out and about and not having to worry about too warm and all that sun too long. So I like it.
Yes, great forecast ahead.
Appreciate it, Sarah. Thank you so much.
How about another T? Temperatures. We are looking forward to some cooler conditions as we move closer to the weekend and early next week. But the really big talking point here, you may have already noticed that today, we'll see more of it in the coming days, is the lack of humidity. So much more comfortable conditions in the coming days, an opportunity to enjoy some outdoor time. We'll talk more about those first alert forecast details coming up.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Sarah Gannon.
We have been tracking those rain showers throughout today and now this evening, much quieter. Great news for folks that made it down to downtown Rochester for Thursday's downtown. The weather clearing out finally, or just in time for those festivities. This evening, looking at some clear sky, all of that rain gone. So we will look at some quiet weather here in the next few days. Taking a look at that cold front still to our north. This will kind of stall out for a day or two and will continue to drop south as we move into Saturday. So early part of the weekend, we'll notice some cooler conditions continuing to move into the region. But it's been a big change the last few days to what's in store. The next big thing is some cooler, more comfortable air moving our way. And we'll start off with those dew points. We've already started to feel that a bit today. Now, as we look ahead to tomorrow and especially into this weekend, very comfortable air mass settling in. We'll be looking at dew points in the 40s and the 50s, lower 50s. So really little to no humidity is expected here in the next several days. So excellent opportunity to get outside. Temperatures also looking to be pretty comfortable in the coming days as well. Tomorrow, a fabulous day, fabulous Friday, I should say. Getting ahead for the start of the weekend, we'll see widespread sunshine, winds maybe a touch breezy, anywhere from about 5 to 15 miles per hour out of the west. So if you're in the Rochester area, temperatures tomorrow in the upper 70s, elsewhere low 80s here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. So a fairly seasonal day. Typically we should be about mid to upper 70s, so about 77 for today's date is that average high. So tomorrow pretty close to par, especially considering the last several weeks have been so hot and now this week has been so humid. Looking at that 10-day forecast, we get a well-deserved break from those 80s. We'll see a lot of days here in the next 7 to 10 that are in the lower to mid 70s Sunday, and tomorrow might be that exclusion where we could see temps in the upper 60s, or maybe in tomorrow's case some lower 80s. But a beautiful stretch of weather, some stray showers may be possible to dodge there Saturday. Otherwise, middle of next week, maybe a better opportunity for a little more rainfall.
I know we both ran an errand on our dinner break. When I stepped outside, I don't know about you, but for a moment I was like, this kind of feels like fall.
It did a little bit. I brought my jacket with. I didn't use it, but I did bring it with in case I got a little chilly.
It's like, are we starting summer or ending summer? I don't know, but we'll take it. Thanks so much, Sarah.
Let's take another look at that 7-day forecast for Austin, Mason City, and Winona. A beautiful stretch of weather on the way here the next few days. Tomorrow, some low 80s possible. It'll be much cooler than what we've seen here so far this week, outside of today, which of course was cloudy and rainy, hence those cooler temps. But below average temperatures actually settling in by this weekend, extending into early next week. We're going to be watching a cold front coming through on Saturday, so it's going to drop some of those temperatures for this weekend. Not much in terms of rain chances here in the coming days. We will have to wait out till next week, maybe Wednesday into Thursday. Some rain chances on the way for the region, but looking ahead to low humidity and cooler than average temps for the next several days. We'll be right back. And the weather tomorrow should cooperate. The forecast looking pretty beautiful here for our Friday, finally Friday, fantastic Friday, whatever alliteration you'd like to use here to kick off the weekend. Beautiful sunshine, high temperatures tomorrow in the upper 70s to low 80s. Temperatures just continuing to stay below average as we move into the weekend and early next week. Quite the change from what we've seen so far in the last several weeks. We've had quite the stretch of high 80s. Now we're looking at the opposite side, below average temps into the 70s.
And it's nice to see the sun icons too, so it may not be so warm, but at least the sun will be out.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for being with us as always, everyone. We appreciate your time. Your morning news starts at 4:30. Good night.